Okay, so I guess first of all, how did you find the stuff from last month?
Pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep doing the Marf stuff, like the slide off stuff, especially
Mm-hmm.
because if I found that like whenever I type it out like that and I get like the ideas out of my head, I end up like figuring stuff out a lot faster.
Yeah,
Like
that's good.
I made that document in like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
so that was pretty nice.
Yeah, and just like the process of going through doing something like that, like sticks in your mind. Like I think a lot of the lab stuff I've done, I can like clearly remember when I did it and like all the stuff I was working out while I was doing it. So it's definitely useful.
For
Um,
sure.
okay, so Falco Dittos. Was there anything specific like problems you have in the Ditto you think, or do you just want to jump straight in?
Yeah, I mean, you can point out like big stuff if you want, but like laser interactions at close range and like contesting like edge guarding, like contesting the legend stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, let me check one thing. I told Flash the other day what I wanted to focus on.
Let me write those down quickly just so I can keep them in my head. Uh,
Acting out of laser, countering defensive play, and not losing control after being hit.
Acting out of lasers. What was the other two? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
What was the other two things you said? Acting out of laser.
Uh, Hold on. Countering defensive play and not losing control after being hit.
Okay. Okay. I will say, how well do you feel like you understand just lasers in like the Ditto? Because it might be worth us just having a quick chat about like.
I mean, I'm down to talk about it because
Yeah.
I don't think I'm like I think I know a few things, but I don't really have like a understanding, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So the main thing in the Ditto is if Falco shoots two high lasers in a row, you can't get your own laser out. I think it's pretty important to understand first of all.
Okay, that makes sense.
From most ranges, if you're really far away, I think you can. But if you're like roll distance or something, you can't like short hop and get your own one out if they shoot quick enough. And that's important to understand because then that makes the person who's getting shot have to do something else to allow them to try and regain control. And the ways they can do that are they can either reposition, so they could like full hop, or they could like move backwards, like wave dash back out of laser, stuff like that, and try and get to a spot where they can now get a laser out again. Um,
Okay.
so that's one thing, and then the other thing they can do is try to like hit the opponent out of their laser, or this is if they just kept shooting in place, obviously. Um, and you can do that with like take laser, dash jump nair, or like wave dash and shine, take laser running shine, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I think it's important to establish that as like the way to deal with Falco just like shooting lasers in your face because it can be like very difficult to deal with, and you could just lose the matchup if you don't know how to deal with that. Like then you'll
Definitely do.
yeah, like you'll play some Falcons that's just like their strategy is they will laser you until you mess up and then they will hit you.
Oh,
Um,
Flash.
so so yeah, I think that's important to get out of the way. So then, with that understanding, we now know that the person who's shooting is going to try and hit you for doing those things, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to either simplest thing is they can call you out for trying to like move forward, so they can do that with like approaching aerial or like an aerial in place or like a tilt or something like that. So that covers the defender sort of moving forward. If the defender wants to move back, then a lot of the time the person who's shooting either tries to take space, so they might do like approaching laser of some sort, or they might shoot in place again, but then you're like further apart, and then the defender
Yeah.
now has time to jump.
Yeah,
Um,
I noticed that when because like I just had this point of realization when I was playing Flash the other day. I was like, he's
mhm.
just gonna keep shooting me every time I dash back out of laser.
Yeah. And yeah, you either have to move in and try to contest his lasers by hitting him, or you have to move away. It's like a two-step. You have to like kind of move away and then jump to get out of the way or something like that. Which is why it's so like important to have laser control, right? Because they have to either take a big risk and try to hit you, or they have to like move away and then jump, or move away again and then jump, and it's just really hard for them, right?
Right.
So I think that's important. And then the acting out of laser stuff. I did see a couple of things you were doing. So I saw you dashing out of lasers. Turn around up tilt as well was good. Do you feel like there's any other like options you mainly do out of lasers?
Sometimes I'll F tilt if he like just does laser approaching laser, and sometimes I catches him, but I don't think that's really that good unless he's at like kind of like 40 plus % usually.
Yeah, it covers the same thing as like up tilt, right? Basically, because you're attacking like that same spot.
Yeah.
So with the acting out of laser stuff, can you be more specific about like, is there certain other options you want to know about, or do you want to know like when to use which thing, or?
I think knowing when to use the options is probably better for me, because I feel like I know a lot of the options I can do out of laser, like take laser or like, you know, double jumping out and wave landing and stuff like that. It's just I haven't been able to like use my intuition to implement it in matches yet.
Okay. So on the ground a lot of the time, so going back to the stuff we were saying about if Falco shoots two lasers in place. So if you think he'll stay there, then obviously the like moving forward stuff is good. So take laser, dash forward, or shield a laser and then wave dash forward. Can try and hit him between lasers. This is all you have to be kind of close for it though.
Yeah.
If you a lot of the time it's just about reading what he'll do out of the lasers. So if you think he'll try and be a bit more proactive and you'll do like approaching laser, then like you said, F tilt or up tilt is good. If you think he will do like laser approaching aerial, you can do like dash back and then back air, or like the Zood air, if you know.
I'm not familiar with the Zood air actually.
Okay, so you like backflip and then dare. It's like Lord Stomp with Falcon, where you like dash back, backflip.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it like contorts your hurt box, and then you go around their like nair or whatever, and you down air them. So that's a really good one to do. Yeah, it's good in a lot of matchups. And then, so they're the main ones they can do to like aggressively play off of lasers. So you always have the option to like control your space with an attack, either up tilt, forward tilt. Shielding can also be good sometimes as well, because if they do like approaching early down air to beat your move, then you can like shield and then chant F shield, obviously.
Right.
So they're like your hard call outs you have, really. And then stuff like dashing away or full hopping or shield and then wave dash back is more of like a soft call out in my mind. Sort of like you don't know exactly what they're going to do, so you're just going to try and like play it safe and reposition and then see what happens. Because a lot of the time they either call you out and then you're in like a defensive position, or they laser again and then you've got some space between you to work with. And when there's more space between you, that means like, again, you can jump, or you can try and like create more space, or you can try and shield and then get your own laser out.
There's also like more like it's harder for them to like act after the laser if we're further apart, right?
Yeah, they've got less advantage, right? Because they can't like get closer to you. So yeah, that's just something to think about in terms of what to do in terms of acting out of lasers. There is another thing where also they sometimes do like laser and then dash dance and then go in to like beat your like up tilt or forward tilt or whatever.
Right.
So a lot of the time what you want to do against that is to just like steal his frame advantage basically, and just like run. You can either run at him with like a laser or an approach, and that'll hit him while he's like delaying his timing. Or you can just use the time to kind of escape and then reset to neutral, depending on, you know, the risk reward of the situation, like your percent, their percent, stage position, stuff like that. But I think that covers a lot of the main options Falcos do out of lasers. Um, so I think that should help, and we can probably see in the VOD like what options Flash does and what you could do to like counter it.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. When you said covering ledge as well, is it like specific ledge options or?
Well, it's just that I want to be able to like he mixes up his recovery really well, so it's really hard for me to like distinguish when he's gonna up B or side B. I mean, I know like if he's below ledge or like at ledge level, like he's probably gonna side B, but like he still has the option to like side B above that, or he can up B below or above. So like it's really hard for me to like that and like knowing like when I have time to get the laser out, like if I like look back at something, I can tell like, oh, I don't have the time, but like in game it's really hard for me to recognize when I have time to get a laser out to like catch up B or side B.
Okay. Let me think. How much thought have you put into your edge cards in terms of like option coverage and stuff like that, or is it just all sort of like feel based?
It's
Like-
pretty feel based.
Okay.
I used to do like a lot of stuff like to like learn how to like laser the up Bs and stuff, but like people don't recover the same way as they used to.
Yeah.
I also use the Armada Shine training. I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
I know.
Uncle Punch beta. Yeah. So I've been using that to practice my invincible back airs from ledge and stuff, and like shine turnaround bears and stuff.
Yeah. So I will say one trap a lot of people get into is that they try to like cover everything in a lot of spots where you just can't usually. It happens a lot with like Falco's up being, and then people try to like they try to back air on stage, and then they try to also cover like high and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, you actually just have to read like. There's usually like three main options, right? Which is straight, ledge, or like a mangle. And a lot of the time, you have to read like two out of those three. I don't know if you've thought about this or know about it.
I have a little bit, but I haven't really implemented anything. I think that it's hard for me to like. I'm not sure how to word this, but
That's fine. Take your time.
like like the distance to the ledge from when he recovers. So like if he's like far away and he has to like upbeat a ledge, or else he just gets backered for free usually.
Yeah.
I see Flash like he'll just grab ledge when he thinks I'm just gonna go to ledge. But I'm not sure like because I feel like if you just do that and they're kind of closer with the upbeat, it's like you can't cover them if they go up because you just don't have the height from the jump on some stages.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time you can't cover both ledge and high, especially on Falco. One thing is edgeguarding Falco is a lot different to edgeguarding Fox as well, which people sort of underestimate just because the amount of time you have is a lot less with Falco. But yeah, I think what will be easier is just looking through and stopping on any edgeguards and see like what we can work out. Because it's pretty hard to like talk about edgeguarding in words, right?
Yeah.
So it's better to have like some stuff in front of us. So if I share my thing, but yeah, that's like the main trap I see is people try to cover everything when you can't a lot of the time. So, but that doesn't sound like the problem you're having. Okay, can you see?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me get the thing quickly. Edge guarding, place things raise it. Okay. Yeah, so like, so this is one of the instructions you were talking about, right? So he tries to laser aerial, and you do take laser tilt, and it kind of like controls your space, and then you get to hit him for moving in.
Right.
But then his adaptation to that a lot of the time can be to like wait you out, and then so he could do like laser and then dash dance and then down air, or he could wait in place and then down air like your lag. So once you've presented this threat of up tilt, a lot of the time you want to do something else, like you could dash and jump shine him, for example, because he's quite close to you, and he might be
Yeah, I
trying
was
to wait this
thinking
out.
that.
Yeah, dash jump shine can be good, especially at this percent where you can't do like dash attack or like instant down air really. Or again, yeah, you could move away and reset if the situation called for that. But yeah, I'll just pause it on a few of these laser interactions just so we can like see them sort of in action. Oh, there's actually an edge guard here. I was going to point out, I think that covering high side B is like really, really important, especially at low percent. Just because
Yeah.
it's super hard for you to cover, right? And even if he lands on stage and you hit him, he's probably not going to die.
How would you cover the high side B?
Okay, so West Bulls I think is probably one of the best at it, and he just does like instant double jump down air up here, and then he'll fall with like the late hit. There's a combo video somewhere with it in, but which I can try and find. But yeah, so you just kind of
like he jumps at the ledge instead of dropping down.
let me try and find it actually. But yeah, so you instead of dropping off, he like instant double jumps where you are now while he's still on the stage.
That makes sense.
Should be able to find it. Yeah, just because like it's just so hard to cover otherwise, and yeah, they can like double jump back upbeat, but sometimes it actually covers some of those angles as well if you do it at a certain timing.
Can I still cover other options if I go for that dare?
Yeah. If they do like, I think the hard counter to it is them going to ledge because you're in the air as they're like down here. So if they do like short turn or double jump sweet spot, then you can't really do much. Okay, I found it. I'll just post it in the. I'll just play it for the yeah, it's loud. But do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you watched it, yeah, you do like instant double jump and it just covers that like exact side B height. It's not as good at this percent in the video because he could like do other options. But when Falco's at like what percent was it, like 10 or something like that, or 26? Like that's one of the only ways to like actually kill him for this. And you pretty much always want to work out with edge guarding like how could I kill him for this option if I read it right.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you want to give him the least amount of chances to get back on stage and have more neutral.
Yeah, exactly. And like at higher percents, you could cover this in other ways. Like you could do jump back air or jump shine. It's just a really low percent. A lot of the time, calling out just one or two recoveries with down air is like the best you can do.
Right, because they'll try to like I know for myself at least. Like if I'm at low percent and I'm off stage, I'm like really trying to just get back to stage as fast as possible.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
And people try to recover like quite deep into stage as well because at low percent, if you back air them and they're like near center, then they don't go off stage. So a lot of people try to do like up B high or up B straight or side B and try and go through you or side B to the platform. So just calling out one or two of those options with a down air of some sort is just like a really good option a lot of the time, I think. Especially because like again, if you say you laser them like 3 times and then they side B and you back air it or nair it, like a lot of the time they don't even end up back off stage. So yeah, I think just going for a hard call out when they're at low percent is good, and then at the higher percents you can do more of like a long-winded edge guard. Is it back on the game screen, by the way?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, there's another one here. After the edge guard. Yeah, so he does laser and then approaching late aerial. So do you have an idea of like how you deal with this?
You can spot dodge, right?
Yeah, you can spot dodge as well.
I think I heard Sammy talking about how a lot of Falcos will just they'll do like a late aerial into the corner and then just shine grab every time in the corner, and that you can just spot dodge shine it.
Yeah,
But
so
I don't
you can.
think it's the only option or anything.
Yeah, so you can spot dodge between shine and grab. That's actually quite important in this matchup. And then shine them. I mean more so the so the late Neri does after the laser. Because the option you picked was laser, which I'm presuming was you tried to jump and laser him.
Yeah.
Which would have gotten nared. So you just want to be really careful lasering in the corner as well, because if they choose to be aggressive and like nair you out of it, then you could be in trouble. So the options I would be thinking about if I think they're going to play aggressive here would be like up tilt again, like you were doing before. You could also do the dash back and then backflip stuff I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because you've got enough room to like dash backwards here.
Do you think that like when I'm in the corner, because like usually it sounds like from the way you're explaining it that most of the time he'd probably want to, like, it's probably a safer bet to try to be aggressive if he thinks I'm going to laser in the corner.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think I could just like condition or like just assume that he might go for that and then do like a turnaround up tilt specifically in the corner?
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah, is like if you think they're going to be aggressive off of this laser, which is like a pretty good bet for them, then trying to defend your space is really good with up tilt or dash back air, or sometimes you can even do like dash forward and hit him because he's doing like a late aerial, because he doesn't want to do an early aerial, right? Because he's scared of shine out of shield. So sometimes you can like dash jump shine them, and it hits before their like aerial comes out, and it'll also catch if they try to do like approaching laser as well.
All right.
So I just keep those options in mind for any sort of like immediate aggressive thing they do between lasers. Because if you can't deal with them just like jumping at you as soon as they get one laser on you, then you're gonna have a really hard time. Because it just feels like every time you get lasered, you're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, I need to fix this.
yeah, there's actually a set I linked to Flash from. It was Mango versus someone in pools, and it's like a 2-minute best of 3. And literally what happens is Mango just does laser approaching aerial or laser approaching laser and just kills him every time off of it. And the guy just doesn't know how to deal with it, so yeah, you just like, it's just over at that point. I think these interactions are pretty important in the Ditto as well. So you roll in and you're both like, you've both roughly got the same amount of frames to act. I think Flash can act a bit sooner here. And you always want to keep in mind who has time to laser first, basically, because they have the advantage, right? Because like he can get his laser out before you here, and then he gets control. So it is sometimes worth like playing aggressive here, because he has the advantage of being able to laser, right?
Yeah.
So
the laser takes time.
Yeah, exactly. So you have enough frames to like run up and shine him here, or run up grab, or even like dash aerial into him sometimes. But yeah, just something to think about. The dash away laser isn't bad, but if you let them get the laser all the time, especially when they're in the corner like this, it limits your opportunities, I think.
I think in that moment I thought he would just nair at me.
Yeah.
I was in mid roll or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the mix-up, right? And I think that was a fine option for Flash too, because that's the other side of the coin is like they know that you don't have time to laser, so they're gonna try and they could try and play aggressive also. Like he could approaching laser you here, and then his comes out first, and you might get comboed off of it. So I think thinking about that in these like weird like neutral interactions is like pretty important. Just thinking whether he's going to try and like win back laser control, or whether he's going to try and like push his advantage and be aggressive. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. I think there's a few more of these that happen as well. Yeah, so like here, right? So he rolls away, and then... Well, you roll away, and then you try to aerial at him, but he tries to laser you. So your aerial would have been him if he like dashed at you, I'm pretty sure. Like if he tried to like run at you, then you would hit him, but then he chose to back off and laser, which beats your like aerial attempt. Um,
Oh yeah. Something the real thing told me was that in spots like this, it's better to just like non-fast fall and then just like wait until like the very end of your jump to decide if you want to like do an aerial or just laser then dashing back.
yeah, that's really good here. Because a lot of the time as well, because he's so far away, uh, you can't like hit him for lasering here, right? Like you just don't have an option that goes far enough. So a lot of the time, because you know he's going to, or if you know he's going to shoot the laser, you want to move as far forward as possible to take back like as much space as you can. Because if you try and like dash back laser yourself and you don't have time, then you're going to get lasered over here in this corner instead of taking the laser all the way in center, and then he's in like a worse position.
So take the position if I can't get a direct punish off a laser.
Yeah, exactly. Like you want to be close to him rather than further away in the corner, right? So I think what Real Thing said there is actually really good. A lot of the time here you can do like he was saying like no fast fall laser, and I'll actually go over Falco's laser sometimes depending on the height. So that can be good to try and chase him down as well with your own laser.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
I felt like when you were on platforms as well, it felt pretty tricky for you. I'm not sure if you felt the same way.
I just it's hard for me because like I was trying to do like you know how we talked about platform stuff with Marth.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes I keep trying to I think the matchup is Marth because that's what I'm practicing.
Yeah.
So I kind of like just wait because like I'm expecting like the up airs or the up tilts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Yeah, that's
usually
fair.
a Marth doesn't really contest the platforms as much as like another Falco will because of the full hop height and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I'll watch a bit more and see if it's worth talking about, but it's just one thing I noticed when I was watching. Okay, so this is another good one, right? So he lasers you as you drop through, and you're this far away, so he can't actually like get a clean hit on you here, right? He has to like laser, and then he has to read what you're going to do next or something like that. Like he has to make another read here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you try to walk forward. Were you trying to do the F tilt maybe?
Can you play it at normal speed?
Yeah, sure. So you drop through the platform and then you get hit by the laser. I feel like you might have been trying to like dash towards him or walk towards him.
I think I was just trying to get closer.
Okay. Yeah, so like this is a great spot where so we were talking about contesting him jumping into your space, right? So stuff like dash jump shine is really good here, or dash aerial at him can like hit him before his laser comes out.
So if he goes for laser, I should go for an aerial like between or you know an aggressive option between the lasers.
Yeah. So then moving forward, because like, so he's here. He's gonna try and jump forward into this space, like under the platform where my cursor is. Mm-hmm. So you want to try and contest that space because he hasn't actually got a hitbox out, right? Because he's lasering. So that's your time to like hit him with shine or nair or something like that. What they can start doing is like lasering and then wait for you to do this and then hit you, obviously. But I think it's important to not let him just jump into your space for free. Right. Because the matchup gets really hard if every time you get lasered in this spot, you end up in the corner getting lasered. So, so yeah, so like this is good. This is kind of the thing Real Thing was on about, I guess, where you did like jump towards him and then you saw he could get a laser out, so then you double jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. I think on this one as well, you might have had time to get your own laser out, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, so you rolled as he was nairing. And do you see how you're dashing while he's still in his lag?
Yeah.
So then you have time to get your own like approaching laser out if you want to. Which is pretty important to go for a lot of the time just because you like win back control with it.
So I have to know like whenever I should like dash towards him and like versus like laser like get my laser out first.
Yeah, you want to always be like thinking about whether do I have time to get a laser out, basically. And you shouldn't always take it because like he could dash in like I was saying before and like contest this space. But a lot of the time it is good to establish that you're willing to like just laser at him if he's in a disadvantage, just because it's so like risky for the other Falco to deal with. And yeah, and Flash does that a lot. Actually, he's pretty good at it. Just like taking the laser whenever he has it. It's like here as well. You see how he gets his out first.
Do you think I could have backguard over that laser?
Yeah, definitely. Or I think one thing you can do when you're in the corner like this as well is like instant double jump or full hop and then land on the platform, or do some like
Yeah, I do that when I think Martha's gonna dash attack me. Or
same thing with Falco, like especially if you're on like FD or Stadium as well. If you think he'll like approaching laser or approaching aerial you, it's kind of like a Fox full hop where you just like go over him and then land with an aerial or a laser. So I think that can be really good, especially because you don't want to end up in this situation where you're getting lasered out of the air in the corner. Like it's pretty rough for you at this point. I think with this one as well, you also couldn't double jump out, which is a bit odd. But yeah, you just see how it leads to like a huge opening for him.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could ledge dash on that play.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I like this forward smash actually. So do you know the reason Flash did this up tilt?
Can
Or
you
can you guess? Yeah, sure.
He probably thought I was gonna go for a laser.
Yeah. So the Falco with like less frames to work with is going to try and like defend himself here with an up tilt to stop you from like trying to push your advantage with like a nair or laser or something like that. So then you kind of call this out with forward smash, which like beats out the hitbox, and I think that was a really good decision.
Yeah, I won't lie. I did it more because he rolls out of the corner a lot.
Fair enough. But yeah, you see how like even though you were late with it because of like just how the mix up works, it like works anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just something again to think about from both sides is like who has the advantage here and who has time to do like what they want and who has to kind of like be on the defensive and play it a bit safer. Yeah, so you see how again now like you're kind of in lag and he just immediately takes the laser whenever he can.
Yeah.
And you actually call him out there for doing the approaching laser, which is good. So yeah, if I was playing against you here, I would probably be looking more for like laser in place, and then I'd do a dash dance, and then like move in with something to try and whiff punish these. So it's just good to know like what the next step people would take is. So like, he tried to do it there actually, but he didn't have enough space. Okay, so this is a good edge guard to talk about, I think.
It's kind of like what you were saying earlier with the back airs.
Yeah. Okay, so you dash attack him off. So he has a jump here. So this edge guard is like by no means guaranteed, first of all. I think it's good to put that out there. Because a lot of the time people are like, oh, Falco's off stage, so he's dead. But that's not true a lot of the time. So he has his jump. You go up here. So he goes up here. He can side B or up B high, first of all. I think a lot of the time it's good to kind of like read the side B and then see if they up B instead. Right. If that makes sense. Yeah. So you could like dash dance on the ground and see if he side B's the platform, and then if he doesn't, you still have time to like cover some angles. You can't cover all the angles if you do this, but I think it's a pretty good way to like cover quite a lot of options.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can also do stuff like jumping up here and lasering and stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of the time Falco just ends up like taking the laser and then side being through you or stuff like that, and it just becomes quite hard.
Yeah, that's really common for me to get the side beat through.
Yeah, so I feel like it's just better to let him just kind of jump up here and then either read his... You can like hard call out a high up B with like jump out down air, like you know how Nun does with knee.
Yeah.
You can do the same with Falco. or you can read a high side B by doing the dash dance. And then as he falls lower, it's basically again just like thinking about whether you want to hard cover the up B or whether you want to cover the side B and then soft cover some of the angles a lot of the time. So what does he do? So you do the nair, which I'm presuming you're trying to cover side B with, which is fine. So then once you're at this point, you don't have time to laser, first of all. If you cover side B, you pretty much never have time to laser to cover the up B. So then his options here are you can go ledge, straight, or high, right? Or some sort of like mangle or whatever. So do you have an idea of how you'd cover each of those, just off the top of your head?
Oh, each of them? So if
Separately,
you went to ledge, if you went to ledge, I don't know if I have time to get to ledge with a wave dash back, but
I think you do.
I think I could forward tilt maybe to catch him. And then for straight, I could like dash back air.
Yep.
And then, or just like wait for him and then do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he goes high, I just I wait for his landing lag.
Yeah.
And then punish him off that with like a shine bear or like just like bear in general.
Mm-hmm. So I think grabbing ledge is actually really good here a lot of the time. So a lot of the time you want to try and cover like 2 of those 3, like I was saying before, with your options. So for example, if you were trying to cover the ledge with grabbing ledge, you can also grab ledge and then see he doesn't go low and then read that he's going high instead and then like wait on ledge and hold it, or you could do like a high rising back air or something like that. But a lot of the time you have to give up one of the options.
So I have a question. If he was like close enough, like a little, just a tiny bit closer than this, like not enough that I could just like hit him with like a forward tilt, but like just outside of that range kind of.
Yeah.
That's when it gets hard for me to like decide what I want to do. And I think I've seen Flash, like if I'm close and I up B, sometimes he'll like run off, turn around bear.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. Because a lot of the time it just covers like wherever they go because they're so close that the hitbox just like hits all the angles. But yeah, I think it's pretty important, like I said, to put some thought into like your option coverage. So because there's like a combination you can do for each of the. So like with low and high, you can do like the grab ledge and then high back air. If they do straight or low, you can grab ledge and then do a like low rising back air that covers straight. So just I think thinking about that is useful. But I think the main thing I want you to take away is that you want to sort of soft cover side B a lot of the time and then read some angles and just accept that you can't cover like all of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I think here, like, you tried to like go for nair again, which it would only cover straight. I'm pretty sure it might have covered high, maybe, but yeah, just I mean, we'll see more of the edge guards and see if it is the main problem, but yeah.
Right here, I was just trying to get out of the corner.
Yeah, so I think since it's a pretty long platform interaction, I think it's worth talking about. So I think going to the top platform's good, first of all, just because like once you're up there, you can sort of do like drop through lasers, or you can try and jump over and hit him in the corner, or you can jump back over here. Whereas if you like guess wrong when you're on this platform, then you're in a much worse spot, right? Because you're
closer to the ledge.
Close to the ledge, yeah. So I think that can be good. You can also a lot of winning this interaction is just about reading when they're going to shoot their laser. Because a lot of Falcons just do like laser, like consistent ones at the same timing. So it's very easy to just time a drop through laser between them and like steal back control, or just jump over between them and hit him. But if they're good, then they'll do like laser and then dash dance and then laser, or like delay their timing slightly. So I think thinking about his timing is important. Like he does, like I think he did laser and then dash dance. Okay, yeah. So now he's just like shooting in place right at the same timing. Did you see at the end there?
Yeah.
So that's when you can be like, oh, he's just shooting at the same timing every time. So I'm just gonna play around that timing and sort of drop through with something or jump off with something. And the other thing when you're up there as well is he can't like hit you unless he moves forward, right?
Right.
And if he moves forward, like Flash does here, then he's giving up. Like now he can get like jump off aerialed or jump off lasered or jump off shined or stuff like that.
And if he goes to platform to try to cover me like dash dancing on the platform, then I can just drop through and take the ground back.
Yeah, exactly. So I think just keeping these all in mind when you're on the platform and try and pick out which your opponent like isn't covering basically. So right here I would be either going to top platform or dropping through with a laser between his. But then if I was on the platform and I saw him move forward, I'd be right, it's time to try and maybe hit him at a certain timing to like play around where he's spacing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just something to think about with platforms. This is another laser interaction, I think.
Yeah, we both hit each other.
I do think in this spot specifically, I think you should be the one trying not to laser. Just because you're at 10 and he's at 140, so he can't really like hit you meaningfully very easily. Whereas if you like clip him with anything, he's off stage for an edge guard at the very least.
Yeah, he needs something that's pretty safe in order to get a combo off on me.
Yeah, he literally has to shine you or grab you at this percent. Or do like a late aerial on the ground. Because, you know about if you down air somebody out of the air, like, if you down air Falco out of the air, you can shine him, right?
Right, yeah, same with like, I think you can do it to Fox Drill as well, right?
Yeah, Fox Drill, Mark down air, any spikes basically. But it just makes a huge difference in the percents in this matchup. Because, like, he can't drop through down air you here if you're jumping a lot. And you want to be jumping a lot so that you can like back air him coming down or stuff like that. So a lot of the time, jumping at Falco when you're at low percent is just really good because he can't threaten you with down air, especially when he's above you. So I would be trying to play quite aggressive here, I think.
What do you think you should do though? Like if
the other Falco
in his position, yeah.
I would be looking for these sorts of situations where like we both trade and get lasers out. But if I was on the platform, I'd probably be looking to maybe full hop away, and then if they try to chase me up there, I can get some chip damage with like back air or shine. But I'd be playing it very safe, I think.
That's another strat, right? So like if they're at low percent and like you can't really get a combo off, you can kind of go for like stray hits until they're in like mid percents.
Yeah, exactly. So if you get like 2 bears here, then they're at the percent where down air now knocks down, and you can actually like challenge a bit more and defend yourself a bit more. But I think in this sort of situation, a lot of the time it's pretty good value to just kind of play like a keep away game. Because a lot of the time the other Falco chases you as well. They'll do like full hop nairs and like play super aggressive to try and kill you. And then once you've played that keep away style for a bit, you can just throw in occasionally like just something super aggressive like dash jump shine out of a laser or something like that, and it'll catch them. But I think a lot of the time, yeah, you want to be sort of playing keep away, try and look for chip damage, and like playing it quite safe. Yes, I think he tried to dash between the lasers here, maybe. I think
he's trying to get away from him because in his invincibility, like Mango, whenever his opponent has invincibility, he just tries to like cross them up with like wave dashes and dashes.
Yeah, so I think it's better versus like Moth and characters like that, just because it's faster characters and also characters that don't have a very good hitbox below them. So like Falcon as well. You can dash under him a lot of the time because you go under his nair, and Stomp's quite slow. Whereas with Falco, like his lasers hit kind of low, Shine hits low, down air hits low, nair hits low. So a lot of the time it's a lot harder to dash through him, I think, compared to like Moth or Falcon or they're the main two, I think. So I think here instead I would be looking, because you dashed away from him, you could go to the platform and then you're out, right? Because he can't really jump and hit you for this because he's too far away. Because a lot of the time when you're playing this invincibility, you just want to kind of get out and then reset, especially in the Ditto where you don't really want to get locked down by lasers at the end of this. You want to be like on the platform or jumping or something like that, so that you're not on the ground already like locked down. So yeah, just something to think about with invincibility, I guess. Because I do think the dash through is good, but only in like certain matchups. Okay, so I think with this one, so he was spacing around like the dash shot hop off aerial, right? So I think your two main options here are either to like back out and then like double jump to the top platform. Because again, like TRT was saying, you can sort of like short hop off here and delay your decision to see if he's gonna get hit or not. Because if you'd have delayed it till like here, maybe you would have seen him dashing away, and then you could be like, "Nah, I'm out instead, and I'm gonna go to the top platform instead."
Could I low laser as well?
Yeah, low laser could work, but he does like, I think it would have hit him for this one actually, because he does like dash back laser. So I was just scared of you getting lasered out of the air while you try to jump off. But yeah, I think a lot of the time doing short hop off and then not doing anything until you reach about here in line with the platform, and then make your decision, I think is really good. Yeah, just because the high down, especially because he's at 11 as well. Like if he jumps at all, then he's gonna get his own shine as well. Yeah,
he doesn't jump.
Yeah,
kind of hard.
So I think if you are gonna do that at low percent, you want to do Nair as well, just because it's safe on shield as well. So yeah, just something to think about. So yeah, again, you see how like you roll away, but he has like frames to work with, so he just tries to push his advantage. And you like dash attack, which could have worked out if it was like a different spacing. But again, just thinking about like defending your space when you think he's going to try and push his advantage. So like up tilt would have been amazing there.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually do it here, which is nice. So you do like dash your way out of the laser, and then you hit him for trying to aerial at you.
Yeah, but I overshoot a little bit, so I don't really get much off of it.
Yeah, so that
he's at 22.
Yeah, so this is one where the backflip thing would work really well, because you would have hit him during his lag of this, and he'd be on the ground, and then you get like a pretty juicy opening. Let me look.
Like I would be on top of him.
Yeah, because a lot of the time it hits with the late hit as well, which is like better for combos at low percent.
Right.
Just because you have like more hit stun to work with. Countering defensive play. Have we talked about that?
Yeah, a bit. I think when you talk about his lasers and like, because when he lasers, it seems like a lot of times it's defensive instead of offensive.
Exactly.
So no offense to Flash, but he's more of a defensive Falco.
Yeah.
He's aggressive in his combos, but other than that,
yeah,
always sit in the corner.
But you understand why that's happening now, which I think is good. It's just because it's like you can't really do much about it. Because Falco's like so slow, right?
Right. Oh, can we talk about that interaction where he pushes me off?
Yeah, sure.
I talked to Flash about it a little bit yesterday, but we kind of came to the conclusion that he can still punish me even if I don't shield. If he's like late on the tech chase, I think that's what he said.
I think there was one later where it was an actual tech chase, so we can try and look for that. Because this one,
I'm trying to figure out how to counter the being pushed off.
Yeah,
that's like his favorite thing to do.
The best thing you can do is buffer a spot dodge, because then you don't get pushed off because you're not like in shield, and that's like frame 2, right? And because you're in like the Z axis or whatever, so you don't actually get like pushed because you're like not there.
Spot dodge puts you in the Z axis.
Yeah, it like moves you out of the way of the.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Have you ever like paused when like I think it's easiest to see when like Mewtwo spot dodges. He just like moves back into the camera.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen, who was it that made that video? Pew Pew? It was someone that made a video like that.
Yeah, but basically you can't get pushed because you're not like there.
Right.
So and because spot dodge is frame 2, it's like if he's unless he's like perfect on his tech chase, because a lot of the time it just works because you're holding shield and then you're stuck there for a bit, and then he just pushes you off anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I think buffer and spot dodge is probably the best one. Or when you do wake up from the tech, just immediately shine, and then that can sometimes hit them.
I did that yesterday.
Yeah. So I think they're 2 good ones. Luckily, it's not as good versus Falcon as it is versus like Falcon, because Falcon doesn't have any good options really there. But yeah. Yeah, so this is one where so he sees that you have like more frames to work with because he's in lag right from the laser.
Right.
So then he tries to defend his space with a back air. So this is one where I'd be thinking about doing like the dash down stuff.
Yeah.
So like right, where is it? So right here, I would do like dash back and then dash in with a laser or an aerial, and then that would like hit his back air. You could also do like dash in shield as well. That can be good because you can shield grab the up tilt, or you can like shine F shield his bear.
Right.
But yeah, just thinking about it from the other perspective of like he feels threatened here because you could approaching laser him, so he's going to try and defend himself, but then you can wait him out and then hit him. See if there's any more edge guards actually. I think it'd be good to put more time into that. Oh yeah, this is one. I don't think he got there in time. I could be wrong. I think you had time to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely had time to shine because he runs like quite far past you as well. So you can also just try and shine them before they do it to you because you're getting pushed off, so you're also in.
So if that was a perfect shine, would he like still be on the platform, kinda, or would he like just barely be off?
He would be here.
Okay.
Do you know about the difference between getting pushed off with your back turned and front facing? By the way.
No, I do not.
Okay, so this is actually really important for this situation. So if we go back to when you were pushed off, it's right at the start of the stock, I think. So you see how you have your front facing him?
Yeah.
So if you get pushed off here, you're actually in lag and you can't do anything.
Oh yeah, because he does like that. Falco will do like that weird animation where he's like
this
falling. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't wiggle out in time or do something, then he misses tech as well. So you can't do anything when he does this. But if it's the other one where he pushes you off the other way, you're instantly out of lag. Like you just have no lag and can do whatever you want. So on.
Is it possible to turn around before he gets up there?
No, but a lot of the time you're in shield in this situation as well, so you don't have time to like turn around. But so then with this one, you see how like you can just act instantly because you're in like the normal animation. Oops.
Right.
So like you could even maybe bear if you were perfect at it. But yeah, shine here would work. So it's important to keep in mind which way you're facing. If you're
another thing, Flash said that sometimes a real thing will up tilt him in this position if he's late.
As Screen Falco?
No, like I would do the up tilt here.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if it pushes you off or not. But yeah, that could work as well. But yeah, the point is just like if you're facing away from the platform, like I don't know how to describe it. But like if your back is turned to them, then you can get a move out. Whereas if your front is facing them, you can't. Because you'll see Zane sometimes he'll light shield on the side of the platform, and then as soon as you hit him, he'll do like back air. Or Westballs does it too.
What do you do if you know you're not going to be able to turn around? So like, you know you're going to be in the laggy.
Like I said, you just have to not shield and try and shine or spot dodge.
Oh, okay.
I think shielding's only good when you're in this position where you can act out of it. Otherwise, it's like pretty bad for you. It might be worth looking at the other game just so we can try and look for some edge guards. Because I think do you think that's the other main thing you want to work on, or is there something else? Okay.
Well, I think edge guarding and then the all the laser stuff that we talked about, I'll have plenty to work on before my next session.
Sick. Yeah, you see how he like calls out your high up B there?
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the only ways you can cover every option Falco has out of his up B, is just by hitting it before it moves off. Unless they do bad angles, and then you can kind of cover everything. But if they do like the proper angles, then
Yeah, it gets hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the game you showed me was definitely better than this one was.
Yeah,
Or at least in my opinion.
Yeah, there's like a week almost between these games.
Ah, sick.
Actually, I lied. I think it was only a couple days.
Yeah, do you see this as another one where like you have the threat of laser, so he's gonna try and like defend himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just remember to like delay your timing sometimes, because Falco's really good at beating out Falco's options. So let's get this. Okay, I think this is important as well. So you get forward air here, and then a lot of the time to cover this you have to just hard read that they're going to double jump to ledge. So what you want to do instead of laser is you want to dash towards the ledge after this and then run off shine or run off double jump down air.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to present this threat to them, because otherwise they can just kind of do this for free, because like none of your other options really hit it if they sweet spot properly. But yeah, a lot of Falco's kind of like autopilot laser as soon as they hit their opponent off stage, and then they just get to double jump back to ledge for free.
Yeah, I def did that.
Yeah, there are some spots where like if you hit him off, then you can laser towards the ledge, and then you have time to run off shine. But I think with this one, you had to just get over there immediately. And then if you go for the run off shine and they don't do it, then you still have like shine turnaround back air to cover some stuff, or grabbing the ledge or stuff like that. So just I think like kind of hard covering one option and then like having other options you can cover out of it is really important.
Right.
Let's see if there's another one here. I mean, you could also a good thing about Dittos is you can just kind of copy what the other person is doing as well. So like you could just look at Flash's edge guards, right, and just see what sort of things he's doing.
That's how I picked him, honestly. For this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I play bad, if he plays good, then I don't have to worry about playing bad.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is another good one to talk about, I think. So you get the F throw, and then you do sort of like a dash dance, wave dash shy. It just felt like you weren't really covering much with this.
Yeah. I always I'll wave dash back, and then I never hit the ledge because I'm way too far away from it. But I think shine turnaround, wave dash back would be fine here.
Yeah, or you can do a dash dance shield stop and then wave dash to ledge. That can work too.
Oh yeah, that probably solved my momentum problem.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't have enough space to do the running shine turnaround, and I don't think from here, unless you get a perfect wave dash, I don't think you can do shine turnaround in place. You could do walk forward and then shine turnaround wave dash as well. Yeah, just thinking about how to get to ledge from this position, or from any position, is just important.
Right.
Yeah, so for this one, you could also just walk forward and then down smash, or down angle forward tilt maybe. But yeah, it seems like you read the side B to ledge, you just weren't sure how to execute and get to ledge from there, which is fine. Yeah, so do you see how Flash edge guarded there? Where like, so he does this laser, he dashes back to cover side B, sees you don't, and then he's like, I'm gonna cover straight or high here because he does this back edge to cover straight, and then he should have had time to hit this, but he mistimed it. But you see how like he covered side B and 2 out of 3 of your B options. Like the only way for you to recover here was to go to ledge.
He was paying attention too. Like I feel like sometimes I don't always pay attention. I react better like in grab situations and stuff versus like if someone's being like off stage and recovering. Like usually I don't see that as a reaction. But you've made it clear that like he right there he didn't back air just because he saw me up being.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is the sort of thing that Flash would probably think more about than you would, whereas you seem like the type of player that would think about stuff like scraps more. Because it definitely seems like Flash's like flow charts all this out, right? So, but yeah, the good thing is you can just kind of steal his his flow chart. But yeah, I think that was just like a good example of like what I'm trying to get at with like covering multiple things. Yeah, I do think actually when I watched this as well, I felt like you could just approaching laser at him more as well. There was a lot of times where he just like held shield or like dashed away or stuff like that, and you can just try kind of like chase him down with lasers.
I really need to work on like knowing when I have time for stuff.
Yeah, it might be one of the most important matchups for it, honestly. Because the price of not knowing is you either get hit or you get lasered, both of which are pretty bad. So, okay, this is another one. Forward smash. And then you missed the laser, unfortunately.
Do you think it would have worked if I actually got my jump out?
If you shot the laser high enough, yeah. But you got to remember Falco can be at a lot of different heights here as well, which can make it quite hard. Yeah, so this is one where you could not shoot the laser, this second laser, and just do run off shine turn back air, and it would hit his up B.
Yeah.
Because I think this might be similar to the situation you were on about that you were trying to describe before.
Yeah, when he's close. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes it's worth just not lasering and just going for that. The risk is you could get side bead if they go to ledge with the side B. But it's just like, you know, the mix-up, right? Especially on net play as well, it's kind of hard. But yeah, sometimes not shooting the laser and trying to just hit the up B with like shine turn bear is good if they're close. Or just using the time to grab ledge instead. Just thinking about your options on laser when you're edge guarding and just trying to read a specific set of options. Trying to remember if there's another edge guard after this.
Yeah, there is. The ending is an edge guard.
Yeah.
Right here.
So this one, this is actually pretty important to talk about as well. I don't think it's worth doing full hop lasers here. Just because even if he does like jump high and then up B here, you can still cover the options like roughly the same as if you didn't laser. Or as if you did laser, sorry. Because like you laser and then you can fall down here and side B and you can't get there in time a lot of the time.
Yeah, kind of like the Marf stuff that we were talking about.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the time it's better to just grab ledge and then play the... Because you've automatically covered side B and then you have a really good chance of covering the up B. Whereas if you do these lasers, it's like you sort of cover high up B, but then you don't have... You can't cover the side B and you don't have a much better situation in terms of edge guarding the up B. If that's clear. Yeah, Fox does this a lot, where you'll back air him off, he DIs away, and he just does double jump low side B, and you try to do these lasers, and he gets back for free like 10 times in a row. Another one here. Yeah, so I think this one was good. So instead of lasering, you just went off shine stall back air.
Yeah,
and you just called it out.
Getting back.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just gonna call out, and it like worked, right? Instead of just trying to laser and like cover everything but nothing at the same time. So yeah, a lot of the time you just want to be confident in your read with edge guarding, and it'll usually work out.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think I covered everything on that list you had of
Yeah.
like
I
stuff?
think I think you hit it on the head.
All right, sick. um, okay, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Let me look at what I wrote down from watching that first
Okay.
VOD as well. Um, yeah, I think the only thing I saw was there was some double jumps you were doing out of combos that, like, if Flash was more aware of it, he could have killed you for a lot of the time. Um, so just like in any matchup, just be careful with your double jumps because a lot of the time Falcons do the thing where they like combo you and then they laser and then they like jump up and hit your double jump, right? Um,
He beat the shit out of me yesterday for that.
yeah, just think about it. So what you want to do there a lot of the time is either like drift back out of the laser and try and get to ledge or something, or you can wave land out of it as well.
Right.
But yeah, just like thinking of other ways to land on like double jump and then. A lot of the time, people are good at the mix up after they do the double jump, but they're not good at the first part, you know? And it's just good to be good at all parts of the mix ups. Um, and then, yeah, I mentioned it briefly, but I definitely felt like you could have like pressured him a bit more with approaching lasers. Like we can just watch through this quickly, and I can point out some
Alright.
spots. Yeah, because he does that a lot to you, and I feel like you get pressured quite a bit, like here as well. Um,
Yeah, I definitely get stuck when he approaching lasers a lot.
yeah, I think
But I
some
feel
of
like
the
now.
yeah, some of the options we talked about will definitely help you. I didn't actually talk too much about it, but jumping between lasers is actually really good as well, like full hop or short hop instant double jump. Um, just because it gets you above Falco if he tries to move in. Um, and if he doesn't move in and he like stays where he is, then you can still sort of land with a laser or land on the platform or do all your
Mhm.
landing mix-ups. So I think that's one thing you can do as well. Um, yeah, there's definitely one like big situation I saw earlier. Mm. Yeah, he does the same nair, right, that we talked about before, and then he just kind of like whiff punishes it. Mm. Yeah, so like this one as well. I feel like just approaching lasers just got more chance of working than approaching nair. See it again. Because he's like trying to move back, right? So you want to try and like laser to steal his space.
Right.
Um, and a lot of the time as well, if you do like try to chase him down with like aerials or tilts and stuff like that, a lot of the time that just lets him get his own laser out, which he does a lot. So like I was saying in the beginning, you just want to chase him down with the laser so that at the very least, like you take the space and then you're not in as bad of a spot if he lasers you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's enough for this time. I think you've got a good idea of what to work on.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm ready.
Sick. Okay, so I think for next time, I think it would probably be good to just look at some Falco Dittos between whoever, either your games or like Mango Ginger or stuff like that, and just watch it with the intent of seeing like who gets to shoot first, or like who gets to act first, like who's got the initiative here. And I think that'll help a lot with you like building up intuition and stuff. Um, and then the other thing would just be look at the edge guards in each set as well, and just think about what options did they cover, and what was my opponent's like out. Like what recovery could they do to beat this. And also, I guess talk to Flash about it after you play him. Like, ask him, were there any specific recoveries I did that were pretty bad or pretty good? How do you like to cover certain options, stuff like that. So I think there are two things to do like outside of the game, I think, that'll help. And then obviously it's important to practice like all of this acting out of laser stuff, which you seem pretty decent at anyway. But it's always good to keep it sort of fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, if you haven't got any other questions, then
No, I'm good. I feel solid about that.
Nice. Okay, that's good. Right, well, I'll see you next time then.
All right, peace.
See you in a bit.